Good morning and welcome to a brand new day, section 26 of the Swiss Alpine Panorama Trail. It's a week later from my last broadcast outside of Atoy, and I've learned a little bit about how badly I'm pronouncing some of these names, so forgive me. Atoy is where I left off and started again this morning. Section 26 is from Morges, which I believe I was calling something different, but the town of Morges to Aubonne, and we're gonna stick with that. The day is just perfect if I haven't said it. I turned on because, well, I got to a nice part in the pathway. It was a little industrial in town, and we got a horse and a donkey over here, and I just love getting video of donkeys for some reason. Don't really know why, but it just seems very country to me. Anybody can have a horse, but you're not gonna have a donkey unless you're kind of in the country. This is definitely the French part of the country, so, you know, 2.5, 3 hour train ride in from Zurich, where I'm speaking English, everyone else is speaking German, and we switch and flip it all to French. And that's kind of an exciting part of this, is you kind of have to be on your toes. Another beautiful home, ping pong table out front. All right, so we have a river segment here, and we're gonna cross the river, head on back down toward the lake, and then we're gonna come right back up, take a look at the chateau, and then it's just, you know, putting in the steps to get to the end. I'm gonna have lunch in town at the end of section 26, and then move on to beginning of section 27. So, you know, I've been moving around the destination points to make it a little easier for public transportation, but also to make sure that I can finish it up. Section 27 is a 30 kilometer. That's a little too much for me, so we're gonna break that in half, and here we are. So this would be, you know, water wheel water taken away from the river for power purposes, personal power. And there in the distance is the chateau. So my understanding is the trail takes us down to the lake. We come back up there. Could just cheat and cut through if you're apt to do that. But I want to see what the lake looks like today. Lake Geneva, that is. So I'm going to keep true to the trail and head on down, and then pick you up again probably right over there. Thanks for tuning in today. All right. We made it to the lake. Here we are on Lake Geneva. I like the diving board. This is a really cute little harbor here. And, you know, they got rock beach over there where a bunch of people are already picnicking. We are, believe it or not, we still have over 70 kilometers to get to Lake Geneva, which is straight down that way. And France is straight across the water. I have a nice or an interesting write-up on Aubonne water. Aubonne is right across the lake from Lausanne, or Morges, where we started, and that is the town of Aubonne. And apparently Aubonne water is the largest food producer in France. But this is the water. This is where it comes from. All the minerality of the water coming off the mountains there, heading into Lake Geneva. that's bottled up and sold as Evian. And you know, we spent the last couple of days, and we're going to spend the next couple of days going through the vineyards on the Swiss side. And it's just interesting that because the Swiss have the sunlight, they can grow fancy water. What I mean by that is they can grow grapes, right? Grapes pretty much 98%, 99% water. And instead of bottling the water that comes off of the mountains with all the minerals directly like Evian does, they're in the shade. The Swiss get to put a couple of fancy steps involved in the bottling of their water, make it change colors, and put a little alcohol content in there, and you got wine. You know, bottling water and bottling wine are basically the same thing. It's just a longer process, a little bit more expensive. So, you know, both countries, both sides of the lake utilize the water that is rich with minerals from this area. And it's just, I found it really fascinating that for all the vineyards we're walking through, like, you know, that's kind of summed up in this giant water company known as Evian for that side of the lake. All right, so we're gonna head back into town. This is the last we're gonna be at the lakefront for a little bit of time, a couple of days at least, until we're way farther down. Like I say, we got about 70 kilometers until Geneva, the town. So there's still a few more sections to go here, but I'm feeling it. And it, you know, this is such a different hike, the Lake Geneva portion, and I knew it would be. You know, it's city kind of suburban hiking opposed to mountain hiking. It's a very different feel, and I like the mountains better than the vineyards. I mean, I'm learning a lot, but when it's time for me to check out the next national trail, I'm going to make sure that it's kind of more mountainous and it doesn't have kind of a third of it with this kind of city cement walking. It is Lake Geneva. I mean, it's hard to get much better than this. Mountains are a little bit better. All right, so I'll see you in town.